Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode here. This is episode 1 of a brand new series I'm doing called The Broken Test, where I go ahead and take a completely average CO and put them against the Broken Bunch, the Busted Few, the Auto Win Buttons. Now, who are the Auto Win Buttons? Let's go ahead and take a look at that. So we have here the CO tier list, and you can actually see on tier 0, those are the broken COs. Those are the ones that break the game. So we have Colin, Grit, Hatchie, Kanbai, Nell, Sensei, and Sturm respectively. Now, all of them have abilities that just cripple the game in so many ways. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the characters when they actually end up having a match against me. So the rules of this are going to be simple. I just pick a completely average CO, like Andy, is who I picked for this one, because he's pretty much one of my favorite COs. And we're just going to see if he can actually take out or get taken out by one of these broken COs. Now, I believe every week I'm going to be putting out a random game up in the public games with the title The Broken Series, episode whatever. So if you happen to see that and you want to go ahead and try to challenge me with a broken CO, just go ahead and click on that game. I will accept and prepare for my utter demise, most likely. So the first character that we actually went up against is Grit. Now, Grit gets +1 range to all of his indirect units, which is insanely powerful. I believe they also get a 20% firepower boost. And his direct units, I believe, take a -10 or -20 penalty. I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but it's a pretty hefty penalty. But when you're Grit, you're not really using direct combat anyways, right? Usually the best strategy with Grit is to build some sort of an infantry wall in front of you, slowly push your artilleries forward, and just completely decimate people. And you can also hold on to your superpower and just kind of put the fear of God in people, most likely, right? Because they can't really move too quickly, or even move in your range, or even move out of your range. It's terrible. It's a terrible time. Would not suggest it. Okay. So my opponent here that actually went ahead and clicked on the link is a gentleman named Somebody McCoy. So this is going to be a very interesting one. I myself have picked Andy for this match. Now, Andy gets no day-to-day abilities, completely average, nothing really special about him. His co-power does 2 HP healing globally, and his super co-power will do 5 HP healing globally, +1 movement to all of his units, and I think like a small firepower bonus, like maybe 10%. Grit, on the other hand, he will get +1 range for all of his indirects with his power, and a firepower bonus, and then +2 range on his superpower. So we're talking about artillery firing as far as battleships, right? Terrible time. Don't suggest doing it. So we're going to go ahead and get right into the match here, and we're going to take a look at what happened. So day 1, just standard infantry builds. Day 2, well, still day 1, just standard infantry builds again. Day 2 is even standard infantry builds. And day 3, standard infantry builds. Nothing out of the ordinary right now. Yep, just standard infantry builds. Alright, let's go ahead and just skip here. Okay, so day 4, the first artillery was built by Grit. Now he built it down in the bottom corner here, which is pretty good. He's got 2 bases down here, so it's probably a smart idea to put a lot of units down there. So I go double recon. right? Because my thought pattern is I don't want him to get a, a presence down here, so I'm trying to rush in there really fast with some recons. Was it a mistake? Yeah, probably, but it's my thought pattern on it at least. So, yeah. So he builds an artillery, an infantry, and then he actually base skips here, which is kind of interesting. I mean, I don't know. Makes it so we have, like... Well, he is actually still ahead on the ends. I don't know why he base skipped. He probably just wanted to get the second artillery out, right? So I go ahead, I start capping my comm tower because I know I'm going to need the firepower bonus pretty soon. And I begin capping on the properties in the center, at least one of them. And Grit is kind of just sitting back here at the moment. I also got my 2 recons going in like bats out of hell over here. Alright, so he moves ahead. Moves his artillery right here. So as you can see, that range... Oh, Lord. These ain't your grandma's artillery, that's for sure. He began starting to do a cap on the comm tower. Now he has a tank down here also. Okay, so what do? Build a battlecopter. And I can't actually reach this guy. And I think at this point I realized that these 2 recon are probably not going to work. So I just send them down to kill an infantry. I don't really know why I did that. Not a great idea. Probably just should have like put them up here, wait and maybe go down and attack from this side or something. But yeah, that didn't happen. So his first artillery has struck my infantry on the comm tower with a devastating blow. Oof. And my recon got wiped off the face of the earth. My second recon got a little bit of damage to it. So this is where that firepower for direct combat units for Grit kind of doesn't really help you out too much. Normal CEO probably would have been able to take that down to like 3, maybe even 2. But yeah, not great. But as you can see, that guy just completely annihilated this one, so... Alright, so yeah, going in for some more caps, send my battlecopter in. He ended up building an anti-air in response. Oh, I think I remember what my thought pattern here was. I was like, okay, I gotta pump out some air units to make him buy anti-air so that he can't buy artillery. And that's actually what I was thinking. So was it the right move? We'll find out. Toss in another battlecopter and a bunch more infantry. So now, sitting at a good amount of units, he brings his artillery back to sit on the city to get some repairs, which is not bad. I mean, it's a great artillery, so normally any old normal artillery would only be able to fire on like these squares right here, but this guy, he's got full coverage, right? It's not a problem there. Goes double artillery on the right-hand side here, which is going to be very bad, very bad. Very bad for me, not bad for him. He's having a jolly old time. Alright, so I take out that 6 HP guy, and I go in to attack the comm tower. Because at this, I'm pretty much thinking, like, I really can't let him have that comm tower, because if he gets any more firepower on his indirects, it's just going to be super game over. And also, if he just balances out his, like, direct combat units, then it's basically no penalty right there, right? Alright, double tank and infantry this turn. So I've gone ahead and shifted my guys towards the center because I can see him pushing up this way. Right? So this mountain range right here makes it so that this is a very good choke point. You could just stick a couple artillery like on this side here and just push forward with infantry on the sides and you wouldn't really be able to do anything, right? So my thought is I really got to get him out of that corner. I got to get him to drag his units down here, and then I have to like push my units in the middle and then hopefully launch an attack when his units are kind of separated a little bit. Alrighty. So he goes in, takes out an infantry. Starts a cap, attacks an infantry. Continues his cap. So this is kind of interesting here. So he's got 7 left on here with a 4 HP infantry, but he's got a fresh infantry right here. Now, what he could have actually done to secure that comm tower was take this infantry and join cap it here, because none of these guys would have been able to stop it, really, because this guy, I mean, he can't reach. I would only be able to sack like 2 units to attack. I might have been able to take him down to 6 HP, maybe. Not 100% sure, but that could have actually guaranteed him the comm tower there. So, unfortunately for him, I managed to go in with that infantry and take it down to 2, so now he's not even a little bit less close to capping it. Went down with the tank to attack this infantry here. Now, let's see what I do with these battlecopters. Okay, so I moved the battlecopter here to attack this guy, which is not a super great move, but I think what I did, yeah, okay, so that's what I did. I gave him an ultimatum, right? It's like, you can either attack this battlecopter or attack this battlecopter. It's like, I realize I'm going to lose one of them, but I need to do some damage to this guy in the center, because, like I said, I wanted to take the center, right? So that was my plan. Master plan. Alright, so day 10 rolls around. Alright, so he took his anti-air and attacked the one in the center. Then he puts his artillery on the HQ. Good place to put it, lots of defense. The HQs actually give you 4 stars, by the way, if you didn't know that before. I'm assuming you probably would, though. Okay. So, yeah, this is what's scary about Grit, right? Because he gets, like, huge infantry lines, just like meat shield out the wazoo, and then just stacks artillery behind it. And this is like, ugh. I don't even know what to do about that, right? It's looking pretty bad over there. So I'm just like, all right, you know, I just gotta keep going. I activated hyper repair. Why did I activate hyper repair? I have no idea. Okay, well, anyways, so I activated hyper repair. Oh, that's why I did it. Because I noticed that this infantry wasn't going to do enough damage to this one to take it out. So I was like, alright, I have to take out that anti-air unit. Right? So I used the hyper repair just to get the slight firepower bonus so that I could take that out. Yes, that's what it was. So normally I would never actually activate hyper repair because like 2 HP globally is not really anything too great, right? And Andy's superpower is just very good. In my opinion, like if Andy had any day-to-day abilities, he'd probably, I would say probably be like one of the best COs, honestly. Because 5 HP healing globally is super good. Yeah. And we have a snipe attack coming. It's gonna be spooky. Spooky. Yeah, there goes my tank. And his anti-air is coming up to take a shot at my battlecopter, but only does 3 damage and takes 2 in return. So all in all, that wasn't that bad for me. Yeah, and those artillery are just doing work now. Okay, so actually, he activated snipe attack, right? So look at this range now. So these artillery now have 4 range. instead of like the average 2, right? So that right there just shows, especially on like a small map, right? I mean, like having that much range, you have to position your units so well just to be able to get out of that range. Oh, I didn't even notice. Yeah, he had a battlecopter here too, so I built an anti-air there. Okay, so day 12. Yeah, things are looking kind of grim, unfortunately. So I go in and take a couple attacks. I still don't want him to get this comm tower, and he's getting like super close to it, right? So that's dangerous. Let's see what I can do. Okay, so yeah, so I moved my 2 tanks over here. And why did I do that? Still in range of this guy. I think I don't know. Wait, hold on. Yeah, no, I have a plan. That's right. I know what I'm doing. Okay. So yeah, I put the anti-air there so that he can't attack it. And then I got super plans here. Super duper plans. It's gonna be a good time. Alright, double tank on the left side, infantry on the right. We have 4 tanks in the center now with a battlecopter and an anti-air unit. Got a bunch of infantry down here. So everything is out of range of these artillery right now, which is super nice. This artillery can still hit something though. So yeah, we lose the infantry that was capping the city. Okay, so this is the turn when I... Yeah, so this is the turn that I noticed that I could possibly win. Yeah, so he built a medium tank. Okay, so the interesting thing here is he's gone ahead and moved his units down here and his units down here, leaving the center completely open. And I have like a lot of tanks in the center at this point. So my thought right now is HQ. I feel like the HQ is really like the only viable option that I have to win this, because I don't think I'm gonna be able to do anything against this now. It's too fortified, right? So not really gonna work. Okay, so I take out that artillery that was on HQ, and I position all of my units here to go in for a cap. He counterattacks a little bit, moves a lot of his infantry over to the center now, puts a tank on the HQ because he knows what I'm thinking. Okay, so day 14. Deny the comm tower again. Block off this front with a bunch of infantry and put a tank over there to do some damage. Battlecopter goes over to attack as well. Okay. Excuse me. All right, day 14. Let's see what's in range here. So this can attack the tank still. Oh, and he even activated his co-power on this turn too. Ooh, that's even worse. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. So takes out 1 tank, 2 tanks, 3 tanks, 4, and I don't got any tanks anymore. Ooh, just so much damage. Alright, this was the fatal mistake here, though. So he goes up and pushes a lot towards here, right? But I mean, like, as you can see, I am, like, super close to hyper upgrade. Okay. So at this point, I'm like, okay, everything is lost. But is it super lost? Well, we're going to find out. So I don't think it's as lost as he thinks it is. So I activate hyper upgrade. And bam, going for the HQ cap. Oh boy. So he's got his power on. So this artillery can't actually attack it. This artillery can't attack it. This artillery would be able to attack it. So I made sure to check the range on a bunch of these guys first, right? So I ended up taking that guy out. So now this artillery can't reach it. This medium tank can, though. So I moved that guy right there to block it. Now this medium tank can't actually reach it. Take out the battlecopter. Move a couple guys forward. Okay. Excuse me. So day 15. So he moves his medium tank in to attack a tank. Attacks a couple other guys. And then he ends up resigning because he feels like he can't actually take this guy out. So I managed to win against a grid, thankfully. Whew! But it was a hard battle. Now, the interesting thing here is I think he could have actually ended up winning. Okay. So let's say this guy went down to 2 HP. Yeah, okay. So that guy would have been 2 HP. He might have been able to do... Okay. Move this back. Okay. So this guy can't actually hit anything else, so we're gonna wait him, and we're gonna wait him. We're gonna say that this actually attacked this. So we're gonna remove that, right? So right away with that, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So right there, he could have saved himself. So if he had actually saw that move, that definitely would not have been a win on that day. Now there's also another move, right? So this would have been able to attack this. And then this could have went here. I think that probably would have removed this unit. And then he would have just been able to go in and attack there also. So with those two moves there, that would have made it so the HQ cap wasn't going to work. Fortunately for me, he didn't notice any of that, so it worked out. So this has been insanely fun, and I had a great time doing this one. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to use some hyper upgrades, and I will see you again on the next one. And if you happen to see the broken test up in public games, go ahead and join it, pick a T0 CO, and we'll see exactly what I can do to try to stop you as a T0. So this has been Mr. Cannon. You all have yourself a fantastic day, and I'll see you again soon. But bye for now.